There's something quietly brutal happening to founders. Something nobody talks about, but you feel it right here, deep down, the fear. Not just the fear of failing, because that's normal, that's expected. It's a different fear, the fear of winning. Yeah, it sounds insane, but stick with this. Too many founders are terrified of what actually winning means. That moment when you break through, when you grab what you've been chasing with everything, when you stand on the edge of something huge and real, it's terrifying, almost paralyzing. Because winning isn't just a trophy or a timestamp, it's a complete upheaval of everything you thought was safe. Winning means responsibility no one warned you about. It means your life, your identity, the very way you move through the world changes. And for most, that change looks like a mirror reflecting a self they don't even recognize yet. This fear is a monster that creeps in quietly, disguised as comfort. It refuses to unleash you. It dances in your head when you hesitate to sign that big deal, when you hold yourself back from that bold pitch, when you choose the safe route just so you don't have to deal with the chaos of blowing up the system you're in. That monster feeds on doubt, whispers, "What if you lose everything? What if you're not ready? What if you're not enough?" And here's the cruelest truth. By being scared to win, you don't just miss out on success, you suffocate your own potential. You trap yourself inside a cage built from your own hesitations, where the key is buried beneath layers of self-doubt and the endless noise telling you to conform, to settle, to be just enough. But here's something the world doesn't want founders to know. This fear is exactly the lock, but also the key. Hidden inside that terror is everything you need to explode beyond your limits. Because winning isn't about a moment, it's about a rebirth. And rebirth is messy, uncomfortable, and downright terrifying. But it's also sacred. It's the moment where you say no to the world's story for you, and yes to your own radical reality. What if winning wasn't about surviving the system, but smashing it completely? What if the greatest victory was stepping outside the rules, outside the noise, outside the realities the world force feeds you? The systems that promise freedom but cage you in tidy boxes? The truth is that most founders feel like they're playing someone else's game because, honestly, they are. The rules were drawn up by a world afraid of real change, a world that rewards the mediocre and punishes the original. And so, you hesitate. You shrink. You become something less than what you were born to be. You've been warned that comfort is safety, but comfort is a lie. Comfort kills fire. It smooths over your abrasions, numbs the edge that makes you dangerous, that makes you unstoppable. True liberation, true winning, is burning with a fire so fierce it burns down the old you, the small you, the confined by fear you. That fire demands sovereignty, the ruthless decision to own your will like a weapon, to question fiercely everything they tell you, every rule, every limit, every safe path, to refuse the simple and the easy, and instead embrace the unknown, because there, in the unknown, is the real battlefield of transformation. This world has no room for ordinary anymore. It's a myth that with enough dedication, survival alone is victory. Survival is just the baseline. The world you're building, the legacy you're after, demands more. More risk, more burn, more broken rules. This is where the real rebellion lives. Not outside, but inside you. The guts to say no to being just a part of the system. The guts to be someone who disrupts, challenges, recreates. This rebellion isn't loud. It's quiet, corrosive, internal, and explosive. It's in the founders who are done waiting for permission to be great, who are ready not to fit into the world's mold, but to destroy it and shape their own. Most founders don't see this. They're caught chasing approval, bending to what's expected, trading their dreams piece by piece for fleeting comfort. They get stuck, buried under piles of shoulds designed to keep them small. And here's the worst part. Because progress doesn't come from the center. It comes from the few, the edges, The radical minority who question everything and burn to become more. Those who grasp the terrifying but only rewarding leap forward. The founders who refuse to live a borrowed life, who know that to create what's next, they must first unlearn everything they've been taught about safety, success, and winning. The brutal truth is that the world is not built for you. The systems, the networks, the so-called supports, they're designed to make you average, to erase your edge, to dull your shine. The infrastructure for exceptional is missing, broken, and remains invisible. You're not missing brilliance. You're missing the right connections, the real allies who get what it means to burn like you do. This isolation is part of the fear. Winning alone can feel unforgivable because the world has no blueprint for rare, misunderstood brilliance. But it can be different. It must be different. There is a choice waiting, an impossible choice that breaks chains and builds freedom. To be sovereign, to own your mind, your will, your fire, to be ruthless in your critique of everything you think you know, to redefine what winning even means, for you, for your mission, for the world you are hell-bent on creating, to align not with the noise of the many, but the burning few who share your radical fire. And above all, to play the long game, because winning isn't a sprint or an event, it's a lifetime of becoming, breaking, creating, and rising. The greatest trap is to confuse safety for freedom. The real slavery is invisible. It smiles, it comforts, it masks itself as freedom while burying your fire under layers of convenience and conformity. The only way out is brutal honesty with yourself and the world you're in. Do not make life easier, make it yours. Own it with ferocity. When the world offers no structure for the exceptional, create your own. Find the rare, the radical, the ones who burn like you. Build a net of power from these signals and sparks. Honor difference, celebrate contrast, and through that, find unity, not the fake sameness the world demands. This is the future, the one only a few of you will dare to live. Because it's not a destiny for the comfortable, the complainers, or the critics. It's a call for those who feel that unbearable silence inside, the restless fire that screams you were born for more, that you were made to defy limits and smash boundaries. You're not just building a company, you're not just crafting a product, you're unleashing a new reality, a world that was never meant to be peaceful or easy, but meant to be born from the chaos of true freedom. If winning scares you, good. That's exactly why you must chase it. Because winning isn't in holding back, it's in burning past your fears, breaking down the walls, and stepping into a life unshackled, fiercely your own. If you wait for the world to say you're ready, you'll never be. Be ready now. Align with the few who burn as you do. Question everything. Be patient but relentless. The edge is where real progress comes from, and it's calling. The fear that keeps most founders small, that's your signal. That's your door. Push through, burn bright, win hard.